Okay, so a lot of people had some trouble with this application task, and I think it was because of the story involved. So realistically, this here is just to give you a background. It's not overly important in terms of your solving. What you needed to understand was that you're changing the site that we're currently on. I've labeled or highlighted keywords in terms of what it was asking you to do, and then the keywords that you needed to, like, were action words. So for this one here, it says label the bus loop in the gymnasium. So understanding that it is the current Trafalgar High School, you would just put the gym and bus loop on the image shown. Annotate the shapes to indicate 3 different ways of finding the area. So there were multiple ways that you could have done it. A number of people recognised that you could do 2 rectangles and a triangle. You could do a rectangle and a trapezium. Some people worked out that you could work out the whole rectangle and then take away the triangle and the rectangle. There were multiple ways. All you had to do was show how you could do it. You didn't have to solve at this point in time. Alright, so for this one here, the gymnasium needs new flooring. How much? So you're calculating. How much means calculate. And what are you calculating? You need to calculate area in order to do flooring. So we had a rectangle. Go back to the previous page. It is 30 meters by 24.5 centimeters. So you would find the area as being 30 times 24.5, because the area of a rectangle is the length times the width. Put it into a calculator, and as it's not stated 2 decimal places, remember your units on the end. The bus loop must be paved. The cost of paving is $12 per meter squared. Calculate. Again, that's our doing word. The area and the cost. So what is the shape of the bus loop? The bus loop is a semicircle. The radius is 18.75 meters. So we then know we have to find the area of a semicircle is going to be the area of a circle divided by 2. The radius is here. So we substitute it into our equation as our first step. Find your answer, and then in order to find the cost, you needed to multiply by how much the cost is. So this answer here is in meters squared. You then take that answer and multiply it by 12 to give you your final answer. For the next one, you needed to compare the following tanks and determine which one has the greatest volume and capacity. Now, a number of people forgot that we needed to convert between volume and capacity. The other thing people forgot here, we needed to transfer that into meters, and then to find the volume of an unusual shape, it is the area times the height. So 3.2 meters squared times 2.2 meters gives you your answer. You then had to change that from meters cubed into liters. And in order to do that, you needed to multiply by 1000. So 7.04 times 1000 gives you 7040 liters. This one here, this is your diameter, so you need to half it. To get your radius, you find the area of the circle, multiply it by the height. So your area of a cylinder is your volume of a cylinder is going to be pi r squared times height. So pi 0.6 squared times 1.5 gives you 1.70 meters cubed, which gives you 1700 liters. So to finish this off, you had to determine which one was the better buy. This tank. The next one, design an educational room, calculate the surface area, and you need to paint it. So the easiest way of doing this is to just draw a rectangle room. You needed to take away the area of the doors and the windows. If there were any, you needed to include the ceiling as well. We're not interested in the roof line. If you did a less conventional shape, you got extra marks. You needed to also remember you don't paint the floor. So you didn't need the full shape. Right, for the last part here, you needed to find the maximum area that could be covered in terms of plants. This part here, not important. This word tells you what you need to do. You calculate it to the nearest meter squared. So there were a couple of ways that you could have done it. Using your first page, you could have worked out which ones to do. You also needed to subtract these here. So if I was to find the area of a trapezium, the area of a trapezium is equal to 1/2 times the height times A plus B. A plus B are the top and the bottom. I need to add the 41.25 onto it. So I end up with 1/2 times 182.25 meters times bracket 247.5 plus 225, which gives me an answer of 43,065. Don't round until the end. Okay, now that is not the area that we would be planting. You need to subtract the bus loop, the gym, this little cutout here, okay, and then bonus marks were given if you included your educational room as being subtracted as well. Your final answer should have been approximately 41,499.6 to the nearest meter. In order to get that full mark, this would need to round up, so it actually becomes 60. Would be the area that you needed to plant out. Now the last one, in order to find the perimeter, you had to use Pythagoras to work out this length here with your A and your B. Now your A is the height of the triangle, your B is the base of the triangle, which you find by doing 247.5 minus 225, which gives you a length of 22.5. Okay, substitute it into your equation. And then you add all your sides together. Again, bonus marks were given if you took into account that the bus loop would be here as opposed to across, but it wasn't expected. So the total perimeter around, not including the bus loop as a loop, would be 838.63 meters of fencing needed.